Near the Wild with Matt Becker, John Norris, and Ggreg Chaille.
Hello.
There's John. We're just waiting for Becker now. See if the microphone thing cleared up.
Huh.
Oh, I guess when you talk, there's a blue circle that goes around your image on Skype here.
Really? Maybe your name turns blue.
Could be, but I've got just your images up here right now.
There's the internal mic.
There he is.
Yeah, but it's still using the internal mic. It's not recognizing this fucking goddamn Samsung. I don't know why.
Can you take an ice pick and like disable the internal mic, like poke it, pierce it somehow?
I plugged it directly into the thing. So.
Yeah.
It's lighting up. That's what's weird. It's got a light. I mean, it's got a yellow light, but it's not identifying it.
It's getting power, but the computer's not recognizing it as a microphone.
Well, I wouldn't recognize it. It didn't do anything wrong.
You never answered my question. Do you have an ice pick so you can just poke it right through the entire thing? I mean, if you're not going to follow the Richard's rules of troubleshooting, then I'll have to terminate this call.
I just want to know why.
Sir, I've been courteous to you this entire conversation.
It's been sitting there the entire time.
What?
You know, the last time it worked is when it worked. It didn't go anywhere. It didn't do anything.
Well, let's soldier on. I do want to start by saying I had a call today from an electric company, the only electric company we have in Arizona, and they wanted to do a survey. So I was going to get up anyway. So I figured this. You know what? This guy, this is his job. What's the big deal? And they start asking me all these questions. But
Ggreg, he gets paid whether you do the survey or not. I feel like.
I don't know. I like to think in my mind, I like to think that me getting to the end of the survey, he gets to like ring a bell or put a slash on the whiteboard. Whereas I know they get hangups all the time because these things last like 12 minutes. And you're sitting there and you're weighing it out. At least I am. I'm weighing it in my head of like, Jesus, this guy's gotta know this is about the time people hang up, you know? And then, and the questions are like,
so do they sit and bet over under? Is that what
well, I don't know what happens on their end, but I'm saying if I was managing that place, my thing would be to try to get my crew to get to the end. No matter what you do, get to the end of the call because then it's a valid study. You can't.
So whoever can complete 5 surveys this month gets to park in the front.
Yeah. It's like, and that's what it must be. Because I mean, 12 minutes is a long time to be answering questions where you rate from 0 to 10, and the questions are, have you been given many options for saving money with your electric? It's like, well,
and again, this is the only company in town.
The only company in town. What? And are you made aware?
You've done a horrible job at that.
Well, I'm like, I know the answers that I give, it won't reflect on him because he's as monotone and dry as fuck. But I'm just like wondering, these questions are so bad. Can we just distill it down? Who's coming up with these questions to where they want to hear themselves talk is all it seems like it is. Because you're asking me questions of like, of how much information I'm getting about solar and alternative energy from my electric company. And I'm like, none. You'd be doing a bad job. You're selling electricity that you get. Don't tell me to go find another alternative. Yeah, it was really, I made it to the end, guys. He got it.
Did you get a gift card or anything?
No. And you know what it should be? Go to the end, you get $2 off your bill for next month. But you got to get to the end and punch in the code, right?
That's what I was going to say. You're one step closer, Mrs. O'Brien.
Oh, man. Here we go. Here we go. Now, this is the math portion. 2 trains leave from Chicago. You know, you'd go, what difference does it make to them for fucking $1 off or whatever? But at least at the end of it, you get something. It's like, all right, well, thanks. You get to ring the bell. I get to put in a 17-digit code, and then we can go from there.
I think they should give you 25 cents off for every question you answer, so you want to keep going.
Yeah. Like, are you sure? Hey, Richard, are you sure you don't have any more questions there? So anyway, the utility companies, they do that. And then they don't ask you, they ask you so many questions and so many of them seem to be self-serving for them only. And I don't think they're representative of what the experience is on my end. My end is this. Look, I know you got to ask these questions. I'm going to try and stick to the end. But to be honest with you, the bill comes in the mail. I pay it. And end of transaction right there. That's it. They asked me if I remember in the last 6 months of their customer service calling me. And I said, including this call? Cause then it would be quite frequently because it was last week and this week. He goes, yes, including this call. Okay. 2. But how does that help them?
Why do they care if they're the only game in town? Like, why are they even pretending to be nice? Why don't they just call?
I'm sure they get hit with some federal survey that says, do you ask if your customers are happy? And
they should just call. They should just call you and be like, what are you wearing right now? Tell us or we're going to cut off your fucking power.
Well, I am in Arizona, and there is some say a lot of sun down here, and there are a lot of solar options. I don't know what they are because we just have them on a couple trailers, and one of them works and the other one doesn't. But I do know that in California, there are situations to where they set it up years ago because no one ever thought people would actually start selling power back to the electric company. They set it up that if you set up some kind of a hydroelectric or alternative energy source and you had a surplus of power, the power company in that town had to buy it back from you at a rate that was comparable to what they're selling it at. And now, because the solar panels are so much cheaper now, there are a lot of people doing it that now they're trying to change that rule. The rule they created to try and get everyone to go green. But that doesn't happen out here.
Well, no, Michigan just overturned theirs. They stopped letting you sell your excess electric.
And that's what's happening. That's what's happening in California because Bingo's dad, he ended up making a hydroelectric generator through water running through his property. And now when the city or when the state gets a call from someone who wants to do the same thing, they just give him that guy's number. Bingo's dad. That's the person you contact if you contact the state of California to find out how to build a hydroelectric power generator. He's the dude.
Does he handle all alternative power or just?
I don't know, but
just electric. What about geothermal?
I don't know about geothermal, but he does know solar panels and he knows hydroelectric. He's the shit on that. Totally. It's great. He showed me his whole thing. I'm going, geez. Is this what people do when they're really bored and retired? Because it looks like a lot. It looks a lot like work, dude. This looks a lot like work. He has to take numbers twice a day.
You just set up an array of turbines and a power grid hooked up to some batteries, and then you spend $20,000 to $50,000 to send that back to the city power grid. It's pretty simple.
Yeah. Then you just sit back and watch it.
So that's how I started my day. I'm very hungover from my flight yesterday back from St. Louis and took a 12-minute survey for the power company.
That's great. It's too bad it wasn't for the phone company.
Yeah.
I like your service. Well, it's good, except every once in a while I get these calls.
But this call is crystal clear, so that's a plus.
Hey, you don't even sound like you're in India.
Hey, Becker, John, I don't know if you've done it, and I think I've said it before. I worked in a boiler room doing, trying to sell solar heaters to people in California. It was a fucking scam. I mean, they still got it, but it was way more expensive than what it was. They didn't get the tax breaks we bragged about. But have either of you worked in phone soliciting rooms?
Yeah, I did. I did amazing.
I bet you. I would say I'm surprised you don't have a crew that you run.
I never have. I'm a millennial, so I actually am really uncomfortable talking on the phone. I'm much more comfortable texting people. This is actually like talking to you guys is like the longest I've ever like had a voice conversation with somebody not face to face.
I can see that. Oh, here, I'll go back. One more thing. They asked if, let us know how you would prefer to be contacted. And they said, text message, social media, telephone, email. I'm like, none. I don't even want this phone call. I want my bill every month, and I want it to be cheaper. End of survey. That would be it.
How about we take the survey money and knock the price down? Hey, sir, are you writing this down? It's only the choice of A, B, or C. You can't write your own questions, sir.
All right, I'm done with the survey stuff. I just had to get that off my chest.
Yeah, no, but I did it. You and I did. I did right at the end of telemarketing when it was all scammed up. I went into a thing where they did it for engineers. What it turned out it was is one of those job seeking places. Remember, we'll match you with a new employer for a higher price?
Yeah.
We were called engineering firms doing some fucking survey. And the idea of it was you want to get them on the phone, get all their information, their experience. And then they were chalking them in and getting a hold of them in private and going, hey, how'd you like to make it twice as much over at Well, of course, once we did it, I did it for about maybe 6 months. And it was one of those things where I just went, well, it's really easy. It's stupid. It's amazing how much money you get. And I was like, all right. So I just shot through it. And I realized they started not letting us through it. What is this call about? I'm sorry, you can't talk to our engineer. What I realized, and that goes back to the old Doug days where I didn't even know it from Doug on that, was you just start hitting, remember your link, your code to whatever different desk.
Yeah.
So as soon as she would answer on the main line, you would just start hitting keys, and all of a sudden you get, oh, well, this is arts and development. You go, oh, I'm sorry, I need engineering. Who do you need? Gary. Okay, and then send you up to Gary. Now you're in the engineering office. Can you transfer me to somebody who does have time to answer the question? And so all of a sudden you got around their entire front board by just as soon as that answer, you just had to find it. What's it called? You guys know it's the extra 4 numbers when you call a fucking business. What's your extension?
Extension.
Yeah, I just sit there hanging myself, and you guys stand there. I see why you started texting, John. This line of conversation just doesn't work. I'm going to have to scream into a flat computer because my goddamn fucking microphone doesn't fucking work.
Listening to you describe that job sounds so awful to me. I would rather be like digging ditches than have to do that because it just sounds so cool to like have to talk to that many people.
John, no, but the key is you had to break through. They started shutting us down. They were like, no, you can't. And they're like, how are you still getting like 30 a day? I go, well, I'll tell you, I get a hold of the elevator guy and I ask, what's maintenance? And then the maintenance guy tells me, well, you're in the wrong department. You need to be upstairs. You know what? Try his direct line. I go, oh, I will.
Yeah.
That was the key. It was verbal hacking.
I take no immediately. I would have like, if I were alive during the Great Depression and had to be like a door-to-door salesman trying to like sell bedpans or something or whatever people sold back then, I would have died of hunger. I would have immediately resigned myself to a life of riding the rails and eating hobo chili.
Hobo chili.
It's a shoe and an onion.
An onion. Oh my God! What do you have for dessert after something like that?
Yeah, the shoe and the onion, it all depends on how you cook it. You go low and slow on that heat, John, and that shoe leather is going to loosen up real good from that stitching.
Yep.
Yeah. The
sole just pulls right apart. Tender.
I don't know why, but the shoe and the onion sounds like an amazing kid's book. All you got to do at the end is just go, this was translated from Russian.
And make sure
that's why the shoe and the onion are such good friends now.
But make sure the family pet dies. If it's Russian, someone pivotal, like the protagonist has to die, but then the country's saved.
If there's a gun in the first act, it has to be fired in the third act. Is that from a kid's book? I don't remember.
It is.
I just read this. So I was doing some ADN browsing in preparation for the podcast. Getting serious about podcasting, guys. I'm prepping. Did either of you see the story on the ADN about the porn in the library?
No.
Oh, that's another good kid's book.
So they're having a big debate over whether or not people should be allowed to look at porn on the library computers, which this debate's going on because people have been doing it in the library since the internet started.
Sure.
And apparently they've had like a pretty loose policy. I always thought, like, I've been in the library and I've seen people looking at porn, like a homeless person or something, and I always assumed that was like against the rules.
Sure.
But apparently it wasn't. It hasn't been against the rules.
It's art.
Yeah, apparently.
No, the guy's named Art, and he always looks at porn.
That's just Art. Don't mind him. Don't let him talk to your kids. So now they're like, apparently the way they're policing it now is if somebody's distracting other library patrons by looking at pornography, they'll have that person check out a library laptop and have it face a wall. That's their new policing method.
They don't shut it down. This is a thing. This is the thing. How to make them more.
Subsidizing homeless porn along with their health care. This is ridiculous. How about fuck them.
Apparently, the library is a judgment-free zone.
Judgment-free.
You can look at all the porn you want. You just have to make sure it's facing a wall.
That is ridiculous. Shut the libraries down.
I mean, but just take it in a bathroom. Why make them face a wall? Just be like, here's your laptop.
They're homeless shelters. That's all they are. You name one kid who goes and checks out a book. He doesn't. He goes there to look at porn, apparently.
I check out books. I love the public library. I think it's a great resource.
We have one here in Bisbee that I've gone in twice, but I've never. I don't know what their porn availability is. Maybe that'll stop one of my. That'll reduce my errands by one. I like the fact that there's a library. I like that there are libraries around, but I don't know that we have to be.
Use them.
Why do we have to be so sensitive to people who are, don't even have a phone that they can, hit up RedTube or something? I mean, ask anyone.
Oh, no, but the thing is you ask about 90% of them, 90% of the homeless, you go, why are you homeless? They go, well, I was sexually abused as a kid. And they go, where at? And they go, to the library. That's where the homeless. Your parents drop them off, you molest them, they end up fucking roundhousing right back to the place 30 years later with no pants.
That makes sense. I can't argue with that. I guess
the argument, back to the last place you had sex.
The argument that the library board has made is that they can't ban people from looking at porn on the computers because they allow people to check out movies like Showgirls and check out books like Lady Chatterley's Lover, which is, I guess, very erotic. So that's their reason. That's their argument.
Their argument is because we rent movies, because we're a Blockbuster and a Radio Shack, all of a sudden we got to be a Pornhub too. That is the stupidest thing. You know what? Read a book. I'm sure if you read enough, you'll realize that's ridiculous.
I mean, but what if they're not looking at porn to get off? What if they're, what if this dude's
working on their thesis?
It's he's writing his graduate thesis on gender attitudes in common porn practices. That could be it. That could be possible.
That's a thing.
Yeah, I guess if you're gonna make shit up, you could be saving the giraffe.
John, is that what you came up with when you got caught?
Yeah, I'm working on my thesis paper. It's not what it looks like. It is what it looks like, and it's good.
It looks like somebody's graduating woodshop.
Well, sir, I understand you're working on your thesis, but why are your pants down?
Yeah.
Well, I got to test it.
I'm a method actor.
Well, you just give me one of those library laptops, and I'll take it somewhere else.
Yeah, I've been here forever. No one saw me. I mean, come on, let's break out one of those laptops.
It's I guess the only. So in Anchorage, the library's got 4 different branches, and I guess the only one that has
the Army, the Marines.
The only one that has restrictions on pornography is the Muldoon Library, because the library's children's section faces the computer. It's the computer.
Oh man, who's the city planner who said that? Okay.
So that definitely was an issue before they put that rule in place.
Is this portion of the Near the Wild podcast that John is? Are you sponsored by The Onion? Is that what's going on here, John? This is a fucking joke, right?
This is real news. is real news written by my friend Devin Kelly, who's a wonderful reporter, getting to the bottom of the issues that matter most to me.
Yeah.
You think the computers facing the bathrooms would be a problem too?
Oh man, the comments are great too. Somebody's comment is just liar. I frequent the library on a regular basis and have never seen or heard of anyone using such conduct. So this is definitely the person looking at porn.
Oh, I thought you were going to say, I've frequented the library often. I have never, ever been offered a laptop while I jerked off in front of the bathroom.
Yeah, I've never been to the library and not looked at porn just because I could. Yeah. So this is a hot button issue. This is what's going on.
That's crazy.
Our world.
That should be illegal.
Well, I did see something at the haunt and attraction show that was in St. Louis last week. That was fucking hilarious. There was a whole area that was just virtual reality. And we talked about this before on one of the podcasts where virtual reality is going. Mm-hmm. And there's that place in Salt Lake City called the Cube, I think. It's kind of the bleeding edge of all that. Well, I go out, Tracy and I were walking around, and this is out towards the back, and they've got this area that's like a corral, but it's like a lighting truss, so it goes up, and there's a whole canopy over, and this is indoors. The size of the showroom floor, by the way, is 250,000 square feet. So this isn't a big area, right? So in the back, they have kind of the new technology stuff. They'll have like rock climbing walls for family entertainment centers and stuff like that. And they got this big, escape rooms and zombie shoot 'em outs and stuff like that. And they got this area, and it's just a corral, and it's just a carpeted area. And there's like a 3.5 foot barrier going all the way around, and there's one place to enter. And Chase and I are just standing there watching. There's 3 people in there with the VR goggles on their faces, and they've got this backpack that's basically the CPU running all the software. Mm-hmm. And they're in front of them. Imagine if someone had a blindfold on and they're trying to maneuver their way around a room with their hands in front of them, like walking gingerly and doing
like blind people.
Yeah, exactly. Right. So basically these people, they're walking in a circle. Like they're in a rectangle, but they're kind of taking that same path over and over, just kind of like just retracing their steps. And Tracy,
like institutionalized?
Yeah, exactly. But they've got these goggles on, and I'm like, Tracy, this is the fucking business. Sell beer and have seats out here where you can watch these fucking Nimrods patting the air with their hands as they just continue in circles and circles, and have some kind of gameplay where in the audience you can throw you give 6 joules and you're able to throw like a brick in front of them or something, throw something from the audience, and it was.
Are you gonna play whack-a-mole with them?
Totally.
You could make it like rat races, but you're betting on them to like end up in a square or something.
Yeah, or you can maybe. Oh, that's another one. You can help guide them. But everything you gotta re-up with joules or whatever the Candy Crush thing is.
I've seen, you can watch videos on YouTube of people, and there's like situations where they like in their VR world, they're opening like a trap door in the floor, and then they try to like go into it, and they just end up hitting their heads on the floor.
Oh, geez. You know what you do, Greg? I already figured it out.
Yeah.
You just go there. You bring your own booze. You sell them booze. Like you just, non-alcoholic drink, and then you add alcohol to it. It's pretty easy. Come on, people. The balls aren't full.
The only reason we even left was because we were out of beer. Because we were walking around with a big, huge concert beer. And I'm like, this is perfect.
What's that? If you had yourself an Orange Julius with a leg pint of vodka in it, you'd be fucking staying. So here's the deal. You know those air cannons that shoot the air ball?
What do you like?
Remember there's a
Chuck E.
black
Cheese?
air cannon, air bazooka.
Yeah. The game.
And it shoots that ball of air, and nobody knows where it comes from.
Oh yeah.
I've seen it cause more fights than not. How fun would that be? Just sit back there getting drunk, shooting these idiots. They keep getting whiffed in the back of the head, thinking the person behind them did it. Now you got actual people in virtual reality fighting with headsets
to the death.
It's almost like a mouth guard for them, so they don't get hit in that face.
Yeah, that was really fun. I really thought you would enjoy that, Becker.
That would be cool. Could you imagine just take your kid who's blind and just put that on him and let him wander around? It's like, for the first time, I'm normal.
I wanted to send you guys some pictures. Where am I here? There we are. Let's see if I can do this.
Not from the library, is it?
No, it's not from the library. I left.
Hey, do you see that? You see that the tennis open, the Miami Tennis Open tournament there?
What's that?
The iguana.
It's a tennis tournament they do. That's one of the fucking Grand Slam events where they play tennis in Miami, where everything's perfect. But an iguana ran on the field.
What?
Yeah, iguana shut the whole thing down, and so the guy goes to take a selfie with the player, and because the iguana is like running across the court, and he's a big, decent sized iguana, and the guy takes a selfie, and the ref goes, "Keep playing." He goes, "I can't play. There's a fucking iguana." I'm like, what are we playing, mixed doubles?
How long did it shut it down for? Because they had to like a team of 5 people had to like catch it with a towel.
Yeah, and that's why I wanted you guys to watch the video of that and see exactly how you catch an iguana. It's 5 dudes with a jacket, and they throw it over it. I mean, there's just a lot of shit going on. You guys act like it was easy. I was down there with nothing but a pen knife and a dream.
Yeah, those guys, the iguanas have, they're vegetarian, but I think they also eat insects. I'm not sure. But they do eat, or they do have really long claws.
And sharp tails.
Yeah. Oh, and the tail with the scales on it. Yeah.
And apparently there's a bunch of iguanas in Miami because now there's new reports of tennis iguanas showing up during practice events. Iguanas love tennis. I didn't know that.
I know. Well, that's it.
Big fan.
Now I realize next year I'll go down to Costa Rica. I'll just throw tennis balls and have them go chase them. It's problem solved.
Oh, yeah. Is the video just them with a bunch of iguanas sitting in the stands, their heads going back and forth? Poke.
Yeah, that was it. I was like,
tick, poke.
Poke, poke, poke.
What are these images you sent, Greg?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That was the big seller at the show this year in our booth. That girl lying down looked like she's pretty fucked up.
It's like it's almost like a one of those sex dolls. Real doll. If you're a fucked up person.
Well, that was the thing. Is this was a trade show, and people in the industry are there, and they're pulling her panties to see how real the life cast was, and it's like, you guys are this is what you get mad. This is what you kick people out of your events for, and you're here, sticking your finger in her ear and pulling the panties to the side.
This isn't the public library, Buster.
Yeah, really. Take that over to the public library.
They're too real. They are disturbingly real. Like, it should be like a fake gun where you have to have like an orange tip.
Yeah, like
it's a fake gun. There has to be some like
clown nose or something on her.
Yeah.
Well, actually, Monday. The show ended on Sunday at 2:00, and then we broke down. And then Monday morning, my brother got a call from the company that does his hosting, and they actually crashed the site. Everyone going back home and then hitting their website looking for those characters.
Huh.
So
Great.
yeah.
Is there talk in the haunt model making industry of like, why don't we just transition into sex dolls?
No, but there's always people. See, that's the thing, John. They always kind of like, they ride the line. They get close to it, but it's not about the sex. It's about the scare, and it's about the realism as far as Ghost Ride. And I mean, that's a gal who did a life cast from the neck down, and she was actually at the show. She laid on the ground next to one of these dolls laying in that position. And, it looks really good, and the painting's really good, and everything they do to make it. I mean, these aren't even the fucked up ones. There's some really fucked up ones, but it's fake, and we always get one or two guys wondering, they're, cause they let haunt enthusiasts come into the show. And that means someone who, jerks off at the library. You know what I mean? That's who a haunt enthusiast is. And they come in, and then they want to know, like, so like, if I got you one, could I put my own clothes on it? And can I like retrofit it with other things? I mean, those are the fucking these are the creepy dudes, right?
I got 2 words for you. This is a guaranteed seller. Spare tire cover.
Yeah, I was just curious so I could get one with like this body but my face. Is that?
Dude, I've heard all those. Yeah, I've heard all of those.
No, I'm going to hang it off a flagpole. Is there a hole where I could put a flagpole in it?
Well, how big's the flagpole? Well, about like if you like, look at my fist, the way it's balled up. That's about what I'm looking at.
It depends on the holiday, brother.
Oh shit, you guys, I gotta run or Becky's gonna be mad at me.
All right, Becker and I can wrap this up.
Yeah.
Okay, you guys,
it's heavy lifting.
it's been a pleasure. I'm glad I could contribute. I will talk to you gentlemen soon, like whenever. So,
all right,
that works.
All right, bye guys.
Bye, John.
Perfect. Bye. Thank God, huh?
Is he meeting your wife?
Yeah, he set up a hair appointment at 2. That's what I said. I said, are we doing it later or earlier? I mean, how do you set it up at 2? I would never be late to go to Becky.
Yeah,
she'll kill you.
That's like, wait, 2:00. Oh, jeez, John.
That's what I said.
No wonder he was on time. He was available because he had something to do right at 2.
Yeah. I was like, yeah, I just didn't want to be late to the hair, but I was like, going in, we can, I mean, I don't know. Anyway, it's irrelevant. It's perfect. We had snow this morning. It was pretty giddy.
Wait, why? You guys, I thought
I told you.
Oh, no.
Remember when the guy said on Near the Wild back in July, we're going to have a real winter, people. Put on your big boy pants.
Sure.
Cold November, December. Coldest on record. And then January, February, I said, get ready. It's snowing. We're going to have a lot of snow. Real winter is back. Yeah, everyone shoveled the roofs 3 times. And it snowed today. That's, I couldn't even, last 2 years, I couldn't even do my joke. My joke was the reason you color Easter eggs is so you can find them in Alaska.
Yeah.
And we've had no snow. Last year, I think it was 51 degrees on Easter. So
we had out in St. Louis, we had everything except snow, and it was actually forecast to snow. We spend 8 or 9 hours a day in the show, so when we come out, it's usually going to be a little bit different. But you would get up in the morning and you'd hear the rain, and then an hour and a half later you'd be walking to the convention, and there would be a sun break, or you'd be walking in sun, and we had. I mean, you didn't know whether to take a jacket, a parka, or put on the mesh tank top. But
yeah, that one will kill you.
It's that part of the country. I've never lived out there. I've never had to. I always overpack because I don't know what I'm going to expect. But people out there, man, I don't know how they fucking do it. It's bitter cold and then snowing, and then all of a sudden it's volleyball weather.
Yeah,
all in March.
Yeah, no, and that's it. And that's such a weird transition. And that's the same with like when I was growing up. It was never. They used to always do the joke. It's a city of 5 seasons. You go, yeah, I get it.
In one day.
And, and it was like, Jesus, it's just horrendous though, because you get rain for 4 days, then it turned nice, and then you're right, then the temperature would plunge. Like, I don't know what to do. I mean, I remember making box cars. We had a box car race. Those box cars you make them for like soapbox? Yeah, soapbox. We made soapbox derby cars, and we were driving them and stuff. And I was joking about it. I go, do we need snow tires on them? And I was like, yeah. And sure enough, it snowed. And the first 2 kids that went down slid sideways and cracked their knockers. And they were, okay, we're done. And they never rescheduled it. My dad was like, can we burn this thing yet? I mean, when? Because they quit. They just said no. And they were like, 23 kids with soapbox cars. And they went, no, we're done.
Next time you're out here, I got to show you the pictures. Over at the Copper Queen, there's they used to have like that, the soapbox derby. I mean, when I hear soapbox derby, I grew up in Southern California. We didn't have anything like that, but I did see the Little Rascals a lot, and they would build a boat or they would build a soapbox, and so I figure that's what it is. It's just like a little go-kart with that ran downhill.
You learn how to make a steering mechanism.
Sure,
the
sure.
rope.
Yeah.
Well,
they used to do that out here in Bisbee. Down the canyon, Tombstone Canyon, and they would have them come down, and they would put bales of hay at like kind of sharp turns and stuff, And then, and there's a picture at the Copper Queen of a dude like spilling off. Like he is already bailed off of it was a 2-man car. And the guy had already spilled off, and he was like, it was like that Wide World of Sports thing with the guy going down the ski hill. This is Jim McKay in the Wide World. This guy was already like cartwheeling away, and the other guy, he probably doesn't even know he's off yet, and he's like steeled himself, to hit the corner. And I guess, then this is black and white, so this is like in the early 1900s, right? And at one point, I wish I knew the details, the total details. At one point, they did have a fatality. Someone in the stands, well, standing on the curb, got hit by one of the cars, and there was something like one person died or something, and they stopped doing it.
Really? Yeah. It's got a murder rate? That's great. We should go and put a memorial there.
Oh, that would be a good one. Yeah, we'll put a cartwheeling dude off of a cart instead of a girl standing in front of a bull. The guy cartwheeling. It's better for this story if the guy cartwheeling is the one who died, not a spectator who had his back to the fucking action.
Yeah, that was. I just saw Shark Tank. They had a guy selling a unicycle, basically 2 guys a unicycle, and it had all the gyroscopes in it, so you don't even really pedal it; you just sit on it,
like those things that Cayman came up with. A Segway.
No, it's a Segway, but the Segway, weighs too much to carry around. This thing, you could pick it up one hand and carry it around.
All right.
And it went up to 10 miles, and it ran 15, 20 miles an hour, and you had to get the balancing down. But they were like, oh, yeah, we'll invest. So they invested it. 2 guys go in on it with these guys, $1,800. They cost them $350 to make. They own the patents on all the retro tilty stuff and all this. And so then what you got to do is learn to do the follow-up. So then you go online and you look it up. I start seeing the reviews from like 2 months after, 16 months after the show aired. People are bitching, going, I'm still waiting on my order. These guys they said they could have them out in a week. Anyway, the 2 partners from the Shark Tank, they bailed. They said, they broke the deal. They were like, we're out. Because apparently they didn't really own the fucking technology they put in it.
Yeah.
And it said, according to LinkedIn, they're both working at different engineering firms now. So I don't. If you're still waiting on your little silly cart thing, good luck.
Chances are those engineering firms probably have some kind of language that they own any technology that they get first right of refusal for any technology that they come up with while under their employ. Right. Because that's exactly what happened to Steve Jobs when they were coming up with Apple.
Yeah, they went after him and said that you don't actually own that.
But Shark Tank is that such a? I like that show, and I think it was Dragon's Den is the one from Canada, where like everyone's way more nice than they are down. Same guy.
Yeah.
But that show, there are so many bailout points for them, because there has to be due diligence after the show airs for them to actually go in and like make sure that those guys actually own the patents, or they are the owners of the things they say they're the owners of. And
right. Yeah. They don't understand patents either. They're like, I got a utility patent. It's very strong. That's what the guy said. And I started laughing. It's no stronger than any other utility patent, you moron.
It turns out they're all equal. A patent is a patent.
Capital letters. Yeah.
Well, the thing is those guys, they really have nothing to lose I like the one guy who just got a divorce and then got another Dancing with the Stars, like married his Dancing with the Stars partner. And
he patented it.
Yeah, it's a strong one. But the only one I really fucking get behind is the guy from the Mavericks. I mean, that guy, he's the only billionaire up there. These other people, they've make lots of money, but they don't have the fuck you money like he's got.
No, but no, they do. Well, some do. I mean, they're all different in their own way, but yeah, like the one lady from QVC, she's just always just going, we'll put it on QVC. We'll put it on QVC. I go, well, yeah, I get it. I mean, that's
but you can tell what's going to work on QVC when they come out. You can tell that if it's a sponge that you can sell for $11, she's going to go for it.
That was the one I saw. It was called what is it? Mr. Sponge, or what is it?
Yeah, it's a Bed Bath & Beyond, and
yeah, but the thing is no, that one. That was when he was pitching it, and he was making them himself, and he said, if I could just manufacture them quicker. He went from
Lori Grenier. It's Lori Grenier is the one I'm thinking of. Yeah,
but he went with the other somebody else on it. He didn't go with her. But anyway, it's everywhere now. So you pull it up. He had sales of $18 million a year after the show.
Yeah, a lot of those guys, because I do the same thing that you do. I've got my phone or my iPad out, and as I'm watching them do the pitch, I'm looking it up because I used to wait to see the whole pitch and then figure out whether or not they were going to do it or not. But like Mark Cuban, you go to his site and he has every company that he's invested in. So you can just find them right on there. Other ones you go and they're in business. They didn't even get the deal, and they still are very successful because what they needed to do was get some exposure, and then all of a sudden they figured out they fought for themselves and then not to give away their dream, and they ended up fucking stealing themselves against someone taking it from them.
But also they each focus on what the thing that's good for them. Like he was looking at some lady who had pretzels, different flavored pretzels or something. Yeah. I don't know. He goes, there's nothing that unique, but he goes, I do own a movie theater chain and I own the Mavericks. And so he goes, I can sell at both those so I could see where I can get my money back. When they do those, I go, well, yeah, he's going to get his money back immediately.
It's like one of those things, like there's nothing that makes you work harder than being desperate or not having another option. You see those guys on there, and those are the guys I feel I have empathy for because they believe in it so much. And there's the fucking joke ones. It's like the Gong Show sometimes, the way they fucking do it. But I like watching that show for that reason, because I like to think that people can still figure out a way to do this. And even though they go on the show and they get offered all this money, they say no. And then you look and they're still doing it. They're still making money, and they're still figuring out a way to fucking make it work,
Right, and that's it. And a lot of times they nailed these one guys one time. I remember they yelled at them. They go, "You didn't really ever want to deal. You came here for exposure." Is all you did.
Yeah. And you can tell. Yeah, you can smell that, and they can too. Mm-hmm. Here, I got one for you, Becker. People don't floss their teeth enough. So you should floss your teeth. What about blood-flavored floss? So it's already tasting like the blood that when you floss.
Did you just read the thing? They said, no, flossing does nothing. They said you don't have to floss.
Perfect. We create, it's like dandruff. It's like dandruff. We create the problem that we have a solution already geared up for. We just add the flavor. And blood, and blood, you're going to get blood anyway. You don't know if it just tastes like that.
Yeah. I'm sure my teeth are fine. That's like a car stereo. It sounds like your muffler's off. It's just a stereo. It's no big deal.
No, it's supposed to sound like that. Yeah, I didn't watch TV for a fucking week, dude.
Costa Rica, I don't watch it really at all. I mean, I pull up a few things, but really, I avoid it like the plague. And when you come back, with fresh eyes again, you take a break from it, you come back, you go, there's a lot of shit on TV. I mean, there was one day I went, all right, I watched something. And I went through the whole thing and went, you know what? There is nothing I want to watch. I turned it off.
Well, I don't know what your cable situation is, but Doug's got direct TV. So we got satellite to all the homes out here. And I mean, I've got some things that I watch, like Billions right now at Showtime, and Baskets, and that one with Pete Holmes, Crashing. I mean, it's all comedy based, right? And CNN's doing that, the history of comedy right now. There's stuff comes up. I never watch like the three, NBC, ABC, CBS, or, even regular Fox. If it comes up, I can get Bob's Burgers anywhere.
Right.
But there was what was it? God damn it.
See, you watch too much TV. If you only watch one show, you know exactly what you're talking about.
Oh, the one I hit routinely, and I know it pisses Tracy off, is Turner Classic Movies. Oh,
I live on that.
That's really it. They should just have, I I could do probably 3 channels, and they're starting to go that way with these cable companies. You're starting to get a Chinese menu where you can just pick the things you want.
Yeah, a la carte.
A la carte, exactly. And there's a lot of people out here in
get the Turner Classic Movie app, and anything they play, like they'll let you watch whatever's playing the East Coast, West Coast. They'll let you watch any of those, and some reserved.
Yeah,
if you can't watch it, you go, oh, it's good, it's saved.
I was watching a movie last night. I came home wasted. We had a 6-hour flight, and then Denise picked us up at Tucson. It's an hour 45 for her to drive back, and I go, let's go to sushi. We're in Tucson, and I really should have said, do you have time to eat? But I just kind of insisted. And I got drunker at sushi, and then we get home, and then I catnapped. We're home at 10 o'clock at night. I fell asleep for an hour, woke up, and then I think I was up till 4 a.m. just watching TV, and a Jimmy Durante fucking movie. It's
yeah. See, that's what sucks me in, is I go, what?
But that guy was huge, and it's this part of the movie, what was it? 2 Girls from Boston. I can't remember what the fuck it was called. He's late for the show, but it's right when his act's going up. It's like vaudeville. And he's coming from the back of the room, and they're all yelling out, all right, yeah, here he goes. And he pulls out a toupee and puts it on his balding head, and then goes up and does a number with a very young, like a 18-year-old girl. And here's this guy that's bald, and he puts on the toupee and does the act. And then when he's done, he takes the toupee off and sticks it inside the coat pocket. And I'm all, this guy was a matinee idol? What the fuck is up? He was the song and dance man that made the transition to movies.
Yeah. No, and but when you see those movies, you know how unique they are. You're like, God damn.
Yeah. He was, I don't know. I didn't end up watching the rest of that movie, but I thought it was just so funny. It's in 30 years, it's going to be James Dean that's going to be playing this part. And now it's you carrying your own hair hat.
But yeah, and that's Johnny. John and I go back and forth on movies. I said any of the shittiest old movies are still better than almost anything new they make. And he goes back and forth on it, and then all of a sudden, I tell him to list his favorite movies, and he lists half the classic movies. And I went, well, there you go.
He's making your argument for you.
Yeah. But he was debating it. I go, I get it, debating it, but what is it you're saying? You're saying Transformers is better than Casablanca?
I just saw we said that one of the last podcasts. Yeah. African Queen was black and white. I just saw it in color.
And I saw the Key Largo's coming back on. You ever watch Key Largo?
No, what's that?
Key Largo's the other one. It's another one of the ones of the classic Humphrey Bogart ones.
Oh, really?
It's fantastic. Yeah, he waits out a storm, and they.
Oh no, I have seen that where they're at one of the places in the Keys, and they're all waiting there, and then there's some fucking murder mystery.
Monster.
Yeah.
But my favorite line is, and I always use it every time when I'm in Costa Rica, it's 110, and everybody's sitting there and tourists are looking. I go, nobody comes to Key Largo in the summertime. Yeah. But yeah, there's just stuff like that where you go, you only got so much time, in your day and your life. And I just can't stand watching shitty movies going, oh, I'm great. I'm glad I watched, Fraternity House 7 or whatever. I don't know.
Revenge of the Nerds 4.
It's I haven't seen enough Steve Gutenberg these days.
Yeah. Look who's talking too.
Oh my God.
Well, hey, I do want to mention that all of Doug's regular dates, tickets are now on sale for the tour through April. And then after that, we'll be adding dates all the time. So just go to dougstandup.com and get on the mailing list, because that's where you will find out. The May 20th show is going to be fucking kick-ass. I still don't know how we're going to do it, but I'm trying to get everyone involved. I got Shawnee running front of house and stage managing. I got Gretchen doing the stage set design. We want to make the fun house on stage. And I got Tracy with a wireless mic. She'll be mic'd for it on stage bartending.
So she won't say a word.
So she won't say a word. This is the best way to do that. She's actually doing pretty good. Because because if they go, hey, can you make a Cuba Libre? You know, I want that interaction going back and forth. This can be fun. We don't know what the fuck we're doing, but we're gonna have a blast.
Yeah, no, it's great.
And
you're filming?
No, we're not filming it.
Okay, I'll get somebody filming it.
We might do something that won't go out there, but we'll see. I don't know, Doug. I got to talk to Doug. He's coming back tonight. Okay. But yeah, that's a good idea. I'm just trying not to bite off more than we can actually cram down our throats. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. This is a learning experience. Let's not learn too much.
Have you ever been into the stock exchange here in Bisbee?
I don't know that I've been to. Well, that's the one with the big board in the back.
Yeah, they actually had a stock exchange here when there was 45,000 people living here.
Sure.
I mean, there's about 5,000 now at the most. And there used to be, I mean, I can't imagine there was anything there's no vegetation on the hills because it was all just fucking scabbed together hovels, you know? Mm-hmm. And that's when they had the mine was cranking in the late 1800s. So yeah, this place was a meeting place. The exterior is exactly the same as all the pictures that you can see archived at the Copper Queen. And the stage is probably the fucking worst stage I've probably ever seen. I mean, you have to walk up on stage to stage right of the performer to get to the bathroom. They haven't made any kind of concession that there is a performance going on. You still go, excuse me, and you step over the monitor to get to the fucking.
I don't get to that bathroom. There'll be a performance going on.
Hey, this ain't New York. But you know what I mean? It's like fucking cut a hole like in the side of the stage there. Have someone go up on the side. They have a little kick out on either side of like a banister. So it's like you've now, it's even worse because you could make them just walk up at the side where the wall and the stage meet, but you don't. You have this banister thing and they have to walk up by that. It's horrible.
Ggreg, Chaille, have you discussed this with them? Have you put in your input?
My time is not cheap.
No, I know, but
they have a complete steakhouse downstairs that looks like it's like they just shut it down in the 90s and like it's waiting there like the hotel in The Shining, just sitting there like mothballed. And they were going to do the show down there, and Doug and I and Tracy went over there to check it out because Mishka was concerned. And this was the last time they did a show up here. And I go, let's go over there and look at it and just see what's happening because I think they need to bring a PA or we can get Shawnee to give one. And we go down there, and the guy down there is telling us about the sound system, how great it is. And I'm like, the sound system? What are you talking about? It's the fucking speakers in the ceiling for like the Muzak. And and I'm like, what? He goes, yeah, these are really good Bose speakers. And we've got a wireless, mic set up. And I go, I don't even like wireless mics for comedy. I just don't like it because anything different than what a comic is used to, it kind of, right. I think it throws them off. You like to have the weight of the mic, the SM58 with a cable. That feels like home, right? It's like all of a sudden telling you have to do comedy, with no microphone and a headset. You'd be like, no fuck, what the fuck? I mean, you would do it, but it's like, that's not optimal.
We got lapel mics. You're going to love it.
Yeah. So when I go in there, I'm like, well, can I hear the system? And he goes, yeah. And he goes back there tinkering it for a little bit. I'm like, I'm looking at it. Well, they're Bose speakers. They're throughout it's a drop ceiling. So they're kind of low. And he comes over and he's like, I don't know how to, we'll get it worked out. And I'm like you guys, like when was the last time you guys ran something through it? He goes, well, it's been a while. I don't remember how to turn it on and stuff, but we'll get it figured out before then. And I'm like, man, this is not the way to do this, you know? Even if you had turned it on, it's theater. Comedy is theater. You want the noise to be coming from the stage. And there's a dynamic that the comics use.
And the problem with the ceiling speakers is always you can never tell what level you're talking at.
Not you. No, because it's even everywhere. So you have no dynamics on the mic.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we'll see. Maybe this is their way to make sure I bring a good PA.
So are you doing it downstairs?
No, probably not.
Okay. But I mean, is it usable downstairs? I mean, is it a venue that you could actually...
We could totally do it downstairs, and I would probably do it downstairs, but they have it set up for like a steak bar or a steak restaurant. So there's four tops everywhere, and then a dance floor with a pony wall around it. And I'm like, this is not fucking TGI Fridays, or Stuart Anderson's. I mean, we would put chairs. We would make this be a seated venue. Get those fucking tables out of here, So if they're going to do that, my main concern would be a PA, because that's what I told Mishka. I go, if you go there, just get a small little PA. Get the one that Bingo has set up at the Hazard House, but do that and don't use their thing, because that's for Muzak, man. And then they ended up not doing it. So I guess I'll find that out. Because honestly, you could do it down there, but you would get rid of all the tables, and then I don't even know if there's a bar that's set up down there. Like I said, it's like they stepped right back in the So, and upstairs, it is what it is. You can get away with it. So, yeah, it'll be fun.
Yeah, this would be a great show. I'm a little envious that I don't just go down.
We've got a couple other shows going, like, in the works right now. So, like, the Royale is a really great place for a comic to film a set. We can get we can get over 100 in there, which is a perfect size.
Yeah, perfect control.
Yeah, perfect control. Exactly. Everyone can see. There's enough people to fill the room, and it is a really good stage. But now we went and watched a movie over there. We saw that fucking one with Joe Strummer, Straight to Hell. We saw, and it has a bunch of cameos in it, like Dennis Hopper, Grace Jones, and a bunch of guys from different bands back in the late 70s, early 80s, and it's fucking funny. It's like Rocky Horror almost, right? And they're in this Arizona town, and they played it at the Royale, and I'm like, this is a fucking movie theater. We should be putting on movie nights there, the movies we want to see. So I'm working on our friend Henry Phillips, trying to get them to do a showing there. And
good, because I went on Henry Phillips' movie the other night. Becky and I decided we were watching it on iTunes, and we got it. And I first had it in there, and it starts counting down as soon as you say, "Yeah, I want it." So then they go, "Okay, you got 28 days left." I said, "All right, we gotta watch it." We had stuff going on, so finally I get it. We go to watch it. It went to the halfway point and then froze, and it never played again.
Oh, wow.
If we could play. And then I'm going, all right. So then I got a hold of iTunes and said, hey, I got half a movie here. And so now it's Punching Matt, because I'm just like, hey, I'd like to see their half the movie.
Yeah. Oh, you never got to see it?
No, I saw half.
Oh, shit.
I saw the part where Doug threatens to beat him up.
Yeah. Doug's the parking lot attendant, or the
that was really funny. How
tow
did you
yard.
forget you did that? Yeah.
Doug forgot he did it. He was here when we were watching it, and he's like, "Oh yeah, I'm in this." It's like, well, yeah, because you just came up. Don't claim like you remembered.
Yeah, but
your face was on.
He's got an integral part. That had to take some serious filming.
Yeah, it was really good. Yeah, so we're trying to do that, and then some other movies too, some comedy movies. Get something going on there, and we're just trying this first thing out with the live swap cast. So we'll see how it goes.
Cool. That'll be fantastic. The town is just getting great. What's the weather like?
It's beautiful today. A little windy, but the garden's coming in. I've been gone for a little over a week, and ended up spending a couple hours out there today, just weeding the garden, putting more soil over the potatoes, because that's what you do. You keep covering them. Yeah, it's gonna be good. It's gonna be it's gonna be a good summer, dude.
Yep. It's going to be fantastic.
Yeah.
And they still Killer Termites Day is still July
3rd. July 3rd, Killer Termites Day. And we still got, there's stuff going on with the yellow trailer. I'll put a link. I saw a really good article, in the local paper out here and online about, the yellow trailer. They're trying to, the old mayor, him and like 6 other people are trying to get them to remove it. And it's a vintage kick-ass trailer in basically a trailer court that's been there forever.
Becky and I were talking about that as soon-to-be citizens of the town, and we said, why don't you just put a cap on what the price of the trailer has to be?
No matter what you do, this guy went back. This is a thing that could have been handled between neighbors, and they're still trying to do that. Britt is the city attorney, and the situation is, I was like, is the city attorney going one way or the other? How's he trying to do this? Turns out Britt is trying to fucking make this thing go away by them working it out between themselves without it going, because the former mayor, Beaucamp or whatever his name is, he knows how it works. So he is going to take this all the way, and he will spend his money, and then the city of Bisbee has to spend their money to try and fucking to keep going with this thing, you know, because the majority of the people in town, they don't fucking care. They're fine with it. It's a trailer. Go 2 blocks over.
I understand you wouldn't want to like a fucking 79 RV fucking put up on 2 car jacks.
But you know what? They're throwing out this like seedy drug deals and all that. And it's like, you're just using buzzwords to scare old people. That's all you're fucking doing.
What you need to represent it as is if the vehicle is valued at over the house price that's complaining. I mean, that vintage trailer is completely restored. That's worth like $50,000.
Oh, probably more than that. There's only 3 known in existence, and that's the only one that is actually in.
Why don't they get an estimate and go in and say the actual trailer you're complaining about is worth more than the house that's complaining about it?
Yeah.
I mean, that was my argument. It's really hard to say an Airstream, fucking all restored Airstream is somehow an eyesore. It's hard to find.
And like in another month, all the hedges would be filled in. That if they moved it in a month, you wouldn't even know it was there until the leaves fell. It's absolutely ridiculous. And like I said, this is something that could have been handled by 2 neighbors just talking about it.
Greg, I've been digging through the history because first I watched Tombstone on TV. I didn't realize that Bill Paxton died.
Oh yeah. That was last week sometime. Yeah.
He dies in the movie. He was dead for long. But
is that an Easter egg in the movie?
It's like unbelievable.
He really did.
But so I was reading about Tombstone because I went, how come Tombstone doesn't have all these historical buildings and everything? And I looked it back. I said, I bet you anything it was like Santa Cruz, where in Costa Rica, the little Maine town.
Yeah.
It's the capital basically of the Guanacaste region. And we go there and it's all lean-tos and tin roofs, and they had a huge fire in the early 80s and it burned the entire town of Uniqueness down. Well, that's what happened to Tombstone. Tombstone burned up. And then they moved you know what year they did that? What year did they move basically the Cochise County facilities to Bisbee?
I don't know, but I should know this because I was reading up on this because they moved everything away from Tombstone to Cochise
They screwed
County.
Tombstone.
Yeah.
They fucked them.
What year was it?
1926, the same year Houdini died.
I figured you had some connection.
Because I originally started this, I was looking up to see if Oscar Wilde ever played, because he did a Western review show, and it was a big town at the time when he was doing it. So I wondered if he ever went through Bisbee.
I mean, a lot of people went through Tombstone for sure, and Bisbee, it being the mining town and it being as big as it was from the mid 1800s. There's a good chance that, especially performers would have gone through here because there was just, everything was bars and hotels and brothels.
Yeah. And that was where I saw that the Tombstone has the largest rose bush.
Oh, really?
It was from clippings got sent from Europe because somebody moved to Tombstone and they were homesick. So their mom sent them clippings from the rose bushes in England. And it took off like crazy, and it's now the world's largest. And what they said is they've enclosed it now, so you have to pay a fee to go in and look at it.
It sounds like, I mean, Tombstone is basically a tourist town. I mean, that whole street and everything. But next time you come out, we got to go there because we took comedian Jeff Tate out there, and it was so funny because I'd never been out there, and we did the show and whatever. I went to Universal Studios forever as a kid, so I've seen Wild West shows. I've seen the stunt stuff, right? So we go there and we get done with that, but then I like all the old stuff, and I'm like, where's Jeff? He's like down the street in like one of these fucking shops. He's buying an entire Western outfit with a fucking hat and everything, dude. It was so fucking funny, man. And I'm like, you know what? That'd be really good on a tour. That would be a tour outfit. Just as like a bartender with the garters and the sleeves, so I could work merch and I could have a long coat. Yeah. It'd be cool.
But the other thing is we should set that up. Welcome to Tombstone. And we just basically do it like a rental, like a tuxedo rental. We dress you up as a cowboy and then we send you into Tombstone. You come back, we give your clothes back.
Oh, yeah. Oh, you go to Tombstone? Well, you want to go you want to go get fitted. Because honestly, they have the people that work like it's kind of like theatrical. So they've got the show where they do the whole recreation of the ERPs and all that stuff getting shot. And then after that, you go out on the street and there's people walking around and you're like, but like that guy was holding a beer. I think he's just a local, and the locals are just wearing the garb and cruising around. There's like kids are doing the same fucking thing. Like junior high kids are dressed up and being like they're rolling a fucking barrel hoop down the street or something, you know?
That's hysterical. See, that's great.
But I mean, and then I'm like, well, then why aren't we always doing that? When we go, hey, you guys want to go to Tombstone? All right, here, what size are you? You look like a 32 long, or I don't know what size is, but you know, when Jeff Tate got all outfitted like that, I'm like, that's a cool deal. And then, you know, they don't know if I don't work there or not. I might be the sheriff. Fuck you.
Yes,
you want to go to jail? Keep talking like that.
Yeah, hey.
Stop resisting.
You know, you got to go to Tucson for a bail bondsman.
And Stage already left today, and there won't be one until Monday. So, yeah. Why don't we?
But yeah, diving in the whole history, I said it. There's no way, because they didn't have enough historical building. They had to have a fire, and they did. They had 2 massive fires that burned the goddamn town down.
Bisbee had one too. I mean, look, sooner or later, some cow is going to kick over a candle at the milking station, right? I mean, in those towns, everyone was right next to each other.
Yeah. So anyway, it was interesting. So yeah, I've been diving into history, so I'm quite fascinated with the way it works, because I'm starting my historical society. So
good.
Yeah, that was tricky because you have to go through the state historical society to get approved. So I had to dig up some artifacts real quick.
Yeah. Make your own. Just add water and time.
Yeah, because I explained to him we have the oldest tree in Bisbee, and we want to get it certified. And,
oh my God!
Yeah, the T-shirts turned out great though.
Did they fall for it?
Fall for it? What do you mean? It's the oldest tree in Bisbee, Greg.
All right.
According to Black Knob Historical Society, it's the oldest tree in Bisbee.
Yeah, yes, you're right.
Copper plaques don't lie. Want to buy a brick? We're going to make a brick fence. Becky said we're making a brick fence, and you can own a brick in the historical Black Knob district.
Yeah.
And we're just going to make every time somebody buys a brick, I get a little more mortar, plop, next brick. $100 a brick.
Stencil it on, man.
Well, it's snowing, and that's okay.
It's snowing right now?
It's snowing right now, Greg.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But that's okay. It's an end run. I like it. Remember the old thing? Yeah, I want to see you naked one more time before I leave. All right, you've listened to another episode of Near the Wild. I'm Matt Becker, filling in for John Norris, who had to get his hair cut.
During our podcast hour that was prearranged with him. And I'm Ggreg Chaille in Bisbee, Arizona. I just ordered my copy of The Shoe and the Onion. I can't wait to read it.
It's a pop-up.
It's a smell up.
Yeah, smell them off.
You've been listening to the Near the Wild podcast with Matt Becker, John Norris, and Ggreg Chaille. Recorded in Anchorage, Alaska on Matt Becker's Backyard Bus. Produced and engineered in Bisbee, Arizona by Chaille.